Hi guys, welcome to another video on MaxiAspie, and today I will be talking about ADHD and paying attention. Something I found very hard while growing up. Many years I was on ADHD tablets, and to be honest, I would always suggest, sound like a broken record, but if you can, try and not go to medicine straight away. If you can try things like cognitive behavioural therapy or other therapies out there, other tactics to get somebody engaged into something that they might not find interesting, but you can find ways to get them engaged and get them concentrating, then those are always the best ways. Just because my experience with my medicine was I was on so much at one point that yes, I was in the class and I was being very quiet, but I was very much doped up and like zombie-like form. So wasn't really there, wasn't really paying attention, just seemed visibly to a teacher that I was listening and I was concentrating. I was not there. I might as well have been asleep in those classrooms. The other side effect was obviously the epilepsy. They reckon that my epilepsy threshold decreased because of that, which made me more likely to have a fit. So you have to take all the pros and cons and weigh them up. If it gets to the point where it's absolutely necessarily low dosage, still cognitive behavioural therapy, don't ever go on the massive high dosage. I don't really think doctors will do that anymore. When I was growing up, it was a little bit like, just take these and see how it goes. It can be very hard, and I remember being in classrooms finding it very hard to pay attention. The constant need to fiddle with something or be thinking about something else or be looking at something else while in the class or be looking at somebody or whatever it was, just not paying attention. Someone could be having a conversation with me, I would completely lose interest, pick up my phone, look at other stuff, and some of the tips I would give people is, and it's some of the tips that my mum gave to me while growing up, always look people in the eye, don't look away. That will really make your concentration go up. So anytime I'm speaking to somebody, I will always try and look at them as much as I can. It can be very hard for autistic people, but that's something that my mum instilled in me. Always look at somebody when they're talking to you. Also, I always try and make sure that what I'm doing is not rude, not making them think I'm not interested. So always be conscious of that, because the more you're conscious of, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to upset this person, then you're less likely to do those things, those impulsive that you need to do because you're finding it hard to pay attention. The other things that can get in the way is you will be on a task and you'll completely forget about it and you'll go on to something else. So when those things occur, just don't beat yourself up over any of it. Just make sure that you go back to what you need to do. Also, for me, one of the tricky things was talking. I can talk for England, as you probably know in my videos by now, which is why I love doing speeches, because I could just stand there all day and just bore people to death. But make sure that you're not over-dominating a conversation, always make sure that you're listening, that you're taking things in. The biggest key to concentration, I would find, is the minute you become aware that you are not concentrating. That's the first step, because once you hit that step, you can develop tactics towards making sure that you listen, making sure that you pay attention to something. So if you're in the workplace and you find that you lose concentration on a task that you're doing on the screen, but you find out that actually putting headphones in makes it a lot easier, do that. And I would suggest to employers, let people do that. Don't say to them they can't, because it's not productive. If listening to a rhythm or a beat is making them more concentrated at the task in hand, let them do it. Put adjustments in place to let them do it. The same with schools. Schools can be difficult because you can't really just hand headphones out, but put some things in place, even if it means going to a room, reading, having an audio book in their ears so they can read the book while listening to something, can always be helpful. And it's not, it's not being exclusive, taking someone out of the classroom. It can be productive and you can be inclusive by doing that. So, it's weighing up the pros and cons again, but doing it in the correct way. But the last tip I can give on ADHD and concentration is, even if something is not grasping your attention, something that isn't really interesting you, just always remember that whoever is doing the lesson or providing or what you're doing. Someone else has put a lot of work into it. So just always be courtesy that you would want somebody to be interested if you put in that work as well. But on the last thing is never feel bad. You know, we all do things, we all have tactics. With ADHD, I often have to rock my leg or tap something or whatever it is to make sure that I am paying attention to something. And it can be hard. Always be honest as well. You know, always say to somebody, "Oh, sorry, I need to do this because I'm finding it very hard to pay attention." You know, and just be open about it, because people can't really help if you're not open. And it's about spreading that awareness and that understanding. So if more people do it, more people will have to listen, because otherwise we're just going to have loads of people that aren't paying attention. And that's no fault of their own, that's just because they've got a condition which makes it difficult for them to pay attention. So guys, I hope this video made sense. I hope that it grasps your attention, and if not, then clearly I need to work on my videos a lot more. But guys, thank you for watching as always. Take care and goodbye for now.